If you're sitting there scrolling through endless guitar listings, wondering whether you're about to spend a good chunk of money on something that will sit idle in the corner, I hear you. You've probably heard the name Martin before, maybe even that 00018 model, and you're trying to decide if it's the right fit for your playing style, your budget, and the kind of music you want to make. The last thing you want is to bring a guitar home that sounds great on paper but ends up feeling off when you actually jam, practice, or perform. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down why the Martin 00018 might be the sweet spot for some players and why others might want to keep scrolling. First off, this is a 6-string acoustic with a solid spruce top paired with mahogany back and sides. In the acoustic world, that combination is often described as balanced. The spruce gives a clear, articulate voice, while the mahogany adds warmth and a little extra mid-range flesh. For a guitarist who likes fingerstyle arrangements, folk ballads, and light strumming, that tonal blend can feel right at home. On the other hand, if you're after booming bass response for heavy flat picking or a bright, cutting tone for bluegrass, you might find the 000 shape a bit shy compared to a dreadnought. The 000 size is smaller, roughly the size of a concert guitar, which makes it comfortable for players with a smaller frame or anyone who prefers a neck that's easy to wrap around for extended practice sessions. What really matters after the purchase is how the guitar behaves in real-world scenarios. The natural finish and ebony fingerboard give the 00018 a sleek look and a smooth feel under your fingers, which most players notice right away. In my own informal jam sessions, the ebony board translates to less finger fatigue during fast passages, especially when using light gauge strings that are common on folk guitars. The hardwood neck adds a solid, stable foundation. You won't hear the dreaded neck warping jokes that crop up with cheaper laminates. This is a piece of wood that tends to stay true even after a few years of digging. That said, the natural finish, while gorgeous, does require a bit more attention if you play outdoors or in humid environments. A quick wipe after a sweaty set, or a case with a humidifier, will keep the finish looking fresh. If you're looking for a low-maintenance instrument that can survive the backseat of a car without a case, you might want to compare this to a laminate-finished model. One of the biggest hidden trade-offs with the 00018 is projection. Because the body is smaller than a dreadnought, the instrument naturally doesn't push as much volume in a crowded room. In a small coffee shop or a bedroom rehearsal space, the sound carries beautifully and fills the room without any amplification. However, when you're playing on a larger stage or with a full band, you'll likely need a pickup or a mic to bring that nuanced tone out front. That isn't a deal breaker. Many players simply install a piezo system after purchase, but it does add a small extra cost and a bit of installation effort. If you know you'll be plugging in all the time, you might factor that into your budget. Now, who should actually consider buying this guitar? If you're a beginner who's serious about learning with a high-quality instrument, a college student who wants a reliable practice companion, or an intermediate player looking to upgrade from a cheap entry-level model, the 00018 offers a credible step up. The combination of solid spruce and mahogany is a hallmark of professional-grade guitars, yet the price point is still approachable for many hobbyists. For fingerstyle enthusiasts, the comfortable neck width and smooth ebony fingerboard make the learning curve less steep, allowing you to focus on technique rather than battling the instrument itself. Conversely, there are scenarios where you might want to skip this particular model. If you're a heavy flat picker who needs that aggressive attack in deep bass, a larger dreadnought or a 00014 with a lower tension bracing might suit you better. Also, if you plan on an intensive touring schedule without a solid case and you need a guitar that tolerates high humidity, a laminated top could be a safer choice. Finally, if you're looking for ultra-thin, travel-oriented guitars that fit into a backpack, the 00018's traditional shape and depth might feel too bulky. Practical strengths that stand out after the first few weeks of playing include the responsive feel of the spruce top. When you strum an open chord, the note attack is immediate and clear. You can hear each string's individual character without it getting muddied. This is a real advantage for songwriting. When you experiment with chord voicings, you'll hear the inner voices distinctly, which helps you craft more interesting progressions. The mahogany back and sides lend a subtle sweetness that makes acoustic ballads feel warm and intimate, perfect for recording at home on a modest microphone. Many owners talk about how the natural finish shines under stage lights, adding a visual polish that